brought it to 5.
So there's nothing
There's
again.
no need to talk about it.
Yes, please don't talk about
There's-
it. Don't talk about it. I'm not even begging you. If you like, talk about it. It's not the first time that they will beat a team. So it's not the first time they will beat my team or my team will concede 3 goals.
When you don't have if 3-0.
I'm not concerned. I'm not concerned, but I believe Remo Stars will bounce back. It's just 2 defeats in how many games?
It's okay.
And what's your point?
You'll be fine.
Let's go
You'll
and
be
talk
fine.
tennis this morning.
At least
I am fine. My team is fine. Thank you. Okay, so we'll go straight and talk tennis this morning. Looking at updates from the Dallas Open, and we'll look at what is happening in Cordoba Open, same as what is happening in France in Montpellier. Abu Dhabi Women's Tennis Open. Maybe we should start with the Abu Dhabi Tennis Open, where games are scheduled for today. It's the WTA 500. It is about points, starting the year, maybe for some tennis players, on a positive note.
Okay, Rebecca Marino and Quinn Zhang will be together, while we have the couple of Beatrice Maya and Mari Buskova playing today. Shelby Rogers will be up against Leila Fernandez. Paula Badoza will be up against Lyudmila Samasova. And we have Elisa Belinda Bečić and Jill Techman will be up against Diana Yastremaka.
Okay, and for Gabi Muguruza will also be in action today against Karolina Pliskova, Barbara Krejcikova against Gabriel Rose. Bianca Andreescu is back. She will be up against Yulia Putintseva. But let's look at what is happening in Montpellier in France, where we have the ATP 250. Filip Krajinovic will be up against Aslan Karatsev. Massimo Cressy against Ancho Bertlier, as Quentin House will take on Clement Chikdijk, as we have Marc-Andre Hosler against Luca Va Ashley. Well, looking at that in Cordoba, one game has been decided, but it is based on injury for Pablo Andujar, as a loss against Juan Manuel Curendolo. Pablo Andujar got injured in the second set. He lost the first set 4-6. Well, Luciano Daderi defeated Hugo Gaston 6-4, 6-3. I mean, this is like we were not expecting that for Hugo Gaston, but it is what it is. Thiago Monteiro by 10:30 this morning will take on Federico Correa. Daniel Gala against Marcelo Barrio. Pedro Martinez against Christian Garin. And let's look at Dallas Open. One game decided in the singles.
Okay, it was a game between Jack Sox and Ilya Izvaka, but we had the win for Jack Sox, winning 7-6, 4-6, 6-4 in that particular set.
And for all the games scheduled for today, Mackenzie McDonough to take on Fernando Verdasco. Alex Rybakov will be up against Marco Giron. Dennis Kodler against Jordan Thompson. Angel Manarino against Steve Johnson. Brandon Holt against Jeffrey John Wolf. But moving away from tennis this morning, let us talk about LeBron James here.
Well, LeBron James shared on Monday that he is disappointed that the Los Angeles Lakers were unable to secure his former teammate Kyrie Irving in a trade. The duo of James and Irving famously became the only team to ever come back from a 3-1 deficit in the NBA Finals, conquering the record setting of 73-9 Golden State Warriors for the 2016 championship. Their history and chemistry and their physics and their biology meant that when Irving demanded a trade from Brooklyn Nets on Friday, James actually believed that it was exactly the opportunity for his team to be his team had been waiting for, but they were beaten to the punch, just like the transfer window of football, and the Dallas Mavericks actually did a job and punched that man away from James.
But let's look at Ivan here. This is a man who decided not to get vaccinated, and maybe we should just say blessing in disguise for LA Lakers. They're not doing well, right? But if you're not bringing someone,
there is another trouble in paradise.
Who is a Djokovic centered? Talk about COVID-19. So, but I mean, sometimes it is also not about the personalities, about how we can get results for you. But your personality also at times speak. You just have to, act according to the rules. But let's talk about Anthony Joshua, who's yet to get a win in the past few months. It was a back-to-back defeat He had against Alexander Usyk, right?
Yeah.
But for Anthony Joshua now has announced that he will have his comeback fight against Jermaine Franklin on 1st of April at the O2 Arena in London. This will be Joshua's first bout without at least one world title on the line in almost 7 years. What first Joshua had unified the WBO, WBA, and IBF heavyweight titles between 2016 and 2018. He lost them to Andrews Jr., stopped him in New York in 2019, but he reclaimed them in an immediate rematch later that year. But Usyk came from from Ukraine and collected the belts.
Well, we just hope that the 2023 will be the year of Joshua. He's starting from the scratch, starting from the bottom and going back to the top.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be a good year for him. No, it is not being sarcastic. It's just hope for the man.
It is good to be hopeful. I'm serious now. It is good to be hopeful, but the question is, when you don't work, there's no way hope can give you results.
So you've been with him in his house and you know that it doesn't work.
Well, I always see his trainings at the gym, his sparring partners, and the likes. But hey, Anthony Joshua just needs to understand that if you want to be the best, you have to beat the best. I don't know why he's running away from Tyson Fury, Dayton Wilder, and the likes. However, remember, it is also about the money. If the money and the contract doesn't speak well, there's no way you are jumping into a particular fight. But let's move away from that, and it is more of the fight of the FIFA Club World Cup in the second half of the show.
Players are missing, and definitely the club will miss those players. It's all about Real Madrid manager and the club. Carlo Ancelotti has a selection headache for the World Cup semi-finals with Egypt Al Ahly on Wednesday, as he'll be missing several key players due to injury. Goalkeeper Thibaut Courtois will be missing. Forward Karim Benzema is missing. Defenders Eder Militao, Lucas
Vasquez,
all of them are missing. They will not make it.
They will not make the trip to Morocco, and but the first three may be available for a possible final on Saturday, if Madrid advances to the final. Now, if you look at these players, the results coming for Real Madrid so far this season, for Barcelona to return to the summit of the Spanish La Liga log, you know that there is a big problem in the Spanish La Liga side.
I was surprised with Barcelona's result over the weekend. That was unexpected, actually. But with Real Madrid, I have no idea what's up with the Madrids this season.
Look at the form of Real Madrid, second on the Spanish La Liga log. They've conceded 17 goals, scored 4. They've lost 3, drawn 3, and they've won 14. Look at their last 5 games. They won just 2, they lost 2, and they drew 1. Looking at how they've also been losing, they lost 2-1 against Villarreal in their last 5 games, played goalless against Real Sociedad, and lost 1-0 against Mallorca. These are teams, and these are winnable games for Real Madrid. But it is what it is. You don't depend on one player.
No, let's not forget what happened, or what Colladio Alfred said on Saturday, saying that maybe the players are fatigued. Maybe they need to rest, and then they need to come back fresh.
It is not the problem of the players now. It is more of the coach knowing the players that are set to be the first 11, knowing the players that can come from the bench. If they're fatigued, I mean, the January transfer window just ended. So we should question Real Madrid. The reason they didn't go into the transfer market to get players.
Chelsea. I'm talking about the finances.
It is
of
not
the club.
There's some. Okay, look at your team B. Look at some players that are hungry to play. I mean, for the past 2-3 seasons, the team has been depending on Karim Benzema. And now, Karim Benzema keeps getting injured in and out. Remember, he could not even feature for France at the World Cup. So, look at what has happened. Look at Modric went to the World Cup. Some of the key players were at the World Cup. And now the Spanish La Liga, the competition is now very high. Look at Barcelona. Their key players were at the World Cup with Spain. And they returned. Look at, I mean, results.
Firepower.
Yes.
5 games win. No lose,
results
no
speak.
draw.
And 53 points, scoring 42 goals. They've scored more than Real Madrid. They've, sealed their nets more than Real Madrid. They've considered 7. Real Madrid has considered 17. So look at what has come in favor of Barcelona, winning 17 more than Real Madrid that has won 14. So it is more of the psyche, what Carlo Ancelotti can do. When the coach is also down, I don't think the players can also raise their game. So Carlo Ancelotti has a question to answer. The boys need to get themselves together. Maybe you should also look at, yes, they won the La Liga, so they feel like they have nothing to fight for. They've won the Champions League, and same as the FIFA Club World Cup. But it is what it is for Real Madrid, and we wish all those players quick recovery. And for Leeds United, they fired their manager yesterday. But now we are looking at what they can do. Although, according to the chairman of the club, Andre Razizani, at the time, he's saying that for him it was a difficult decision to take, but that happened to March. But they are also looking at the manager that can come on board. Remember, they have Manchester United games back to back, and they just need to see how the players. And one funny thing about teams where they fire their managers is that when they get a new manager, they get a result.
Just like Everton.
Yes, but I know.
I don't want to talk much on
Arsenal
that.
fans, the likes of Laffy will not be happy with that.
I was having an argument with Laffy. I was telling him that they better sit up because they feel like they're on top of the table. They are good to go. Meanwhile, the other teams that want to get that particular slot.
Yeah, but if you look at the team that wants to get
if Mikel Arteta is not careful, it was a narrow escape for Arsenal over the weekend.
Not a narrow escape, they lost.
No, assuming Manchester City had won that game.
Yes, but they need to thank Tottenham Hotspur. It was a London escape.
Escape.
Look at Arsenal's next 3 matches. They are playing against Brentford. You cannot rule out the fact that Brentford can, sting them like a bee.
Yeah.
They'll be facing Manchester City.
Okay. This is
They'll
going to be
face
tough.
Aston Villa.
Aston Villa.
Then Leicester City. Those are the games in the month of February.
Aston Villa is not going to be a threat to us now. Let's look at Manchester City. Definitely is going to be a very tough match. For Brentford, it's 50-50. 50-50. I'm not sure about this.
Okay. Well, shout out to all Arsenal fans out there.
You're your own.
You will make it. And let's talk about internal crisis in Bayern as we wrap up this morning. Bayern Munich president Albert Heiner feels it is incomprehensible that Manuel Neuer went public with his criticisms of Bundesliga champions for sacking Toni Tapalovic. I mean, the goalkeeper trainer was fired. Remember, for the goalkeeper, Manuel Neuer has ruled out of the season due to his injury. But the funny thing is that other players are already backing the statements of Manuel Neuer. When you fire someone, everybody will have to speak. There's freedom of speech, but hey, remember, freedom of after speech, you cannot be assured.
Yeah.
But we just hope that they bring this to the table because results are now coming for Bayern Munich, and they also wish to, hold on to the German Bundesliga title and do well in the UEFA Champions League, as we are doing well on the show this morning.
Yes.
We'll go on a break, and when we return, we'll look at pages of Nigerian newspapers, same as Burning Issue this morning. Thank you very much, Favor Lawrence.
Yes, I won't be on the second half, so please stay safe today and Favor with the flavor. Have yourself a wonderful day. Wow,
gbogbo èèyàn ló máa ti máa ṣe bolóyè Adébáyọ̀ Adélabú pẹ̀ǹkẹ̀lẹ̀ mẹ́ẹ̀sì ọmọ níbi níran ni ó ti ṣetán láti gbé ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ débùté ògo ká fi ìbò wa gbé ojúlówó ọmọ pẹ̀ǹkẹ̀lẹ̀ wọlé àkọọdù lẹ́gbẹ́ wa òkè téńté la wà lórí ìwé ìdìbò ká fi ìka wa sọ̀rọ̀ gbé olóye tó lọ́gbọ́n tó mọ àtòlú dépò kí ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ lè gòkè àgbà Báyọ̀ Adélabú la fẹ́ ọ̀rẹ́ olówó ni ọ̀rẹ́ mẹ̀kúnnù ni pẹ̀lú Báyọ̀ Adélabú dé ìrànlọ́wọ́ dé fún tilé toko.
gbogbo ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ ti gbáradì nírẹ̀ pẹ́tẹ́ pé gbogbo wa la máa jáde dìbò fún pẹ̀ǹkẹ̀lẹ̀. gẹ́gẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe mọ̀ pé ètò ìdìbò ọdún 2023 ti súnmọ́ etílé torí náà ẹ jẹ́ á ṣọ́ra fún jàgídíjàgan òṣèlú ká sì rí dájú pé a gba káàdì ìdìbò wa. ìkéde wa láti iléeṣẹ́ rédíò ọ̀nà àbáyọ Solutions 93.9 FM.
ẹ káàárọ̀ nílùú Ìbàdàn Solutions 93.9 FM.
Great people of your South Senatorial District, what do you want?
Freedom, development, youth empowerment.
That is right. Here is another 4 years opportunity to get it right in Oyo South Senatorial District. Cast your vote for Honorable Oluwasegun Theophilos Oladimeji Otto under the auspices of Labour Party as our representative at the National House of Assembly, Senate. Otto, a man of the people, credible and intelligent leader, social transformer, an advocate for youth empowerment always. On this note, market men and women, artisans, civil servants, students across all levels, social groups, religious houses and many others. Vote for Honorable Oluwasegun Theophilos Oladimeji Otto to represent Oyo South Senatorial District on the Labour Party with the logo of a father, mother, and children. Let's do it together. No carryover. Vote for Otto. Labour Party!
Forward ever!
The 2023 polls is all about you and the unborn generation. Participate by voting for your preferred candidate with your PVC. This message is powered by Solutions 93.9 FM.
It is 17 days to the 2023 general elections. Remember, talk is cheap, voting is free. Take it to the polls.
This message is powered by your Remedy Radio dial. Solutions 939 FM.
It's a beautiful Tuesday morning right here on the Remedy Dial Solutions 93.9. Welcome to the AM update from the dailies, where we take you on a tour and different stories making the rounds in our nation, Nigeria. My name is Victory Richard.
All right, my name is Oladako Okunubi, aka the man beside Victory Richard this morning. And we look at headlines on the pages of Nigerian newspapers this morning. One, we're getting different angle of the new Naira redesign. And, well, we look at mathematics this morning. Dele Momodu came out this morning to refute the mathematical plan of APC, saying that, well, despite there's a split in PDP, they can win the forthcoming 2023 polls based on history. But will history repeat itself in the coming 2023 polls? It is a few days to go, which is 17 days to the forthcoming election. It's not even forthcoming. This month's presidential election before we go to the governorship polls. I've got with me Punch at the Nation newspapers this morning.
The Nigerian Tribune and the Vanguard newspaper. Let's get right into it. All right, let's begin with the Nigerian Tribune this morning. APC Tinubu campaign plan to swap 22.5 billion naira for vote buying. PDP alleges. That story you can find on page 26. APC campaign council challenges PDP to promote evidence. Wike secures court order, moves to stop suspension from PDP. Another headline here, Supreme Court affirms Lawan as Yobe not APC senatorial candidate. You can read up on that on page 25. NIPC moves to slash Nigeria's appetite for loans. You can read up on that story on page 6. And now to the banner headline, cash swap. Court stops Buhari, CBN from shifting February 10th deadline. The story you can find on page 2 and 3 of the Nigerian Tribune. Added to that, 14 political parties threaten to boycott election if federal government cancels Naira redesign policy, as Kaduna, Kogi, Zamfara government takes federal government to Supreme Court. Legal practitioner exonerated from conspiracy allegation. Read up on that story on page 8 of the Nigerian Tribune. I will restore security to Benue if elected president. Atiku is making that statement. NAF plane skids off Lagos Airport runway. You can find that on page 5. Turkey serial earthquake kills over 2,900. That story you can find on page 5. These are the stories from the Nigerian Tribune front page.
Going to the Nation newspaper this morning and seeing the banner headline. Governors ask Supreme Court to halt CBN's Naira swap deadline. And it has 3 riders saying Kaduna, Kogi, Zamfara states sue federal government. 4 political parties get High Court injunction to block extension. EFCC arrest bank official with 29 million naira new notes. Okay, we delve into that in the next few minutes, but let's look at other headlines. Let's go to the cap headline this morning. Trial of Aquaria Madu, wife, child, doctor begins. Why NLC opted for consensus to pick leader. Emefiele's Naira redesign dance and general election. You can read more. But looking at the red headline this morning, I still stand with Tinubu. Namadi dares PDP. Court freeze Okorocha over 3 billion naira fraud. Okay, so this is happening after they have a presidential candidate and the campaign has started and it's few weeks to election. Remember, the EFCC was at Okorocha's house in Abuja, broke into his house from the ceiling, sealed some of his properties. 3,500 killed in Turkey, Syria earthquakes. Buhari world leaders mourn. And we have the front page picture of the Punch newspaper of the campaign of the All Progressives Congress in Katsina. Katsina, Buhari seeks 2 million votes for Tinubu. The rider, terrorist will be defeated, says APC candidate. The shoe headlines. Machina loses Yobe APC senatorial ticket to Lawan. We'll talk about that on the show this morning. And 391,145 PVCs uncollected in Osun. Will that have a ripple effect on the presidential election? We'll wait to see.
All right, away from the Punch, let's now move to the Nigerian Tribune this morning. APC Tinubu campaign planned to swap 22.5 billion naira for vote buying, PDP alleges. Wike secures court order moves to stop suspension from PDP. Supreme Court affirms Lawan as Yobe North APC senatorial candidate. Alright, more stories. Of course, PDP APC fight over alleged 22.5 billion vote. Okay, old Naira notes don't extend February 10th deadline, court tells federal government, CBN. Yobe North, Supreme Court restores Lawan as APC Senate candidate. Aquaria Madu in court as alleged organ harvesting trial commences. Rescuers walk through night after Turkey-Syria quake kills 3,000. And now to sports. Nigerian footballer Hardy dies in Spain. Aviation, airfare surge 95% as Jet A1 scarcity bites harder. And now to health. 4.6 million girls at risk of FGM by 2030. These are the stories on the Vanguard Nigerian Tribune newspaper.
Okay, and going straight to the Punch newspaper, quickly punching down the headlines. Will hunt down 16 Nigerians killers in Burkina Faso. Buhari. Other headlines. Court stops Lagos International Airport concession. Autumn shuns Atiku campaign. Ayu slams governor. The Pocket headline this morning. Lawan Supreme Court victory. Daylight robbery. Machina camp. Okay. The banner headline from Punch newspaper this morning: New Naira. Governors, parties begin legal battle over CBN deadline. And the writers El Rufai Matawale Yahya Bello sue FG, demand extension. Court backs parties, stops CBN, Buhari from shifting deadline. And the last writer to that headline: EFCC nabs Abuja bank manager hoarding 29 million naira new notes. And the front page picture is about the sad incident right there in Turkey, Syria. World mourns as earthquake kills over 2,700 in Turkey, Syria. And other headlines on the shoe part: thugs disrupt the Rivers APC rally, destroy vehicles. Man arraigned for burning wife, brother-in-law to death. 613 billion naira Sukuk loan spent on roads, bridges. FG. You can read further by getting the Punch newspaper this morning. Delta State is trending this morning. Kuje Prison is trending this morning. I don't know why. Sheyi Makinde is trending. But now let's go straight to the burning issue this morning. Okay, checking the pages of Nigerian newspapers this morning, most especially the breaking news yesterday of the Senate President winning the Supreme Court case. Now he's now a senatorial candidate of the All Progressives Congress going into the 2023 polls. And looking at the headline, Lawan's Supreme Court victory, daylight robbery, Machina camp. And well, according to the report, it wasn't even Lawan that took the case to court, it was APC. But here is Lawan speaking about the victory at the Supreme Court on Monday.
This victory is for all of us involved. I am the symbol, but the victory is for our party, the APC, and for democracy.
Well, a quick breakdown to what happened. So on the 28th of May 2022, the APC conducted a primary in Yobe State that had Machina emerge as a winner. At that point, we had Lawan contesting for the presidency, right? He wanted to be a presidential candidate.
He bought the form of presidential candidate, bought that of the senatorial election, of the senatorial primaries.
Yes. And after the presidency didn't work out.
He lost out.
Fine.
Not that he didn't work out.
No,
he lost out.
He didn't work out, because if he had worked out fine, we wouldn't be having this conversation.
Saying in different ways.
Anyway, so on June the 9th, the party now conducted another primary election that now brought in Ahmed Lawan. Ahmed
Lawan.
Because Machina did not participate in the second one, knowing fully well that he won the first primaries. And now the issue here is INEC monitored the two primaries.
Okay. So now, where I'm now going to is with the victory yesterday in your name.
Interesting.
Do we say that there is more problems brewing in APC? If APC could take the case to court and not Lawan taking the case to court, being the the Senate president, and he was speaking yesterday. Although the Machina camp did not say anything. However, remember, we hope we don't get to a stage where they will say it's a party problem. I mean, it's a family issue like the G5 we have in that of PDP.
You know what I think is happening right now is an internal issue. And yesterday, the Supreme Court's credibility has been questioned by a lot of Nigerians. If you go on social media, the Supreme Court was trending as a result of this issue. Now, the Electoral Act amended as of 2022 has also been questioned. I called you earlier before we went on air. I was watching a legal practitioner talking about the interpretation of the law, that who is an aspirant and who is a candidate. So according to this legal practitioner, according to the interpretation of the law, it states that, the presidency is a constituent, the Senate is a constituent. As an aspirant, you can get forms for the presidency, the Senate, and the governorship. But when you become a candidate is when you have gotten the validity by INEC stating that you won a primaries. Okay. So that's the justification to Ahmed Lawan becoming the right person for the job. But we have lawyers debating that it shouldn't be so according to the Electoral Act.
Well, I very soon will bring in an analyst, to talk more about this, because I have a different, opinion to this. If Martina will not be a part of the second primaries conducted by APC.
It wasn't that he wasn't a part. He did not participate.
That's the thing. You were not a part. You did not participate. We are saying the same thing here. You won the first primaries.
Why would he want to participate in an election that he already won?
That's it. That's what we are saying here. We don't need to throw punches. Victory. We don't need to throw punches. But, are we not seeing more of a corrupt party going into the forthcoming polls? And what will surely happen in Yobe?
It makes Nigerians scared. I was speaking to a friend and he told me that if the Supreme Court can give a judgment in this light, then what happens if the electoral process, the forthcoming general election, doesn't go as planned and we have a rerun? The Supreme Court now decides to appoint someone as a president.
Let us keep that to the analyst. But now let's go straight to mathematics of the forthcoming election. Here is former governor of Lagos State and Minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Babatunde Raji Fashola, saying that President Muhammadu Buhari did not campaign on infrastructure. People should get that right. And that the party is so confident in winning the polls based on numbers.
Buhari never campaigned on infrastructure, he campaigned on the economy. And I don't see what you can realistically do in any economy where the infrastructure is aging, it is insufficient, and it is broken. So infrastructure is just a means to get the economy back on the road. One party says that, we will privatize it. We've seen the attempt to privatize the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, and for 16 years it didn't produce a road. We also saw the attempt to privatize the second Niger Bridge, and for about 5 or 6 years, between 2010 and 2015, there was no bridge. Buhari understands, the APC understands, this government understands that this is a social investment. The government has to lead that investment. And so we have made that investment. Bridge is finished. We are a few days to the election now. We have momentum. The APC will win this election. We are not looking at a coronation. We know it's a competition, but the opposition is behind, clearly behind. And let me tell you why. Election, as we all say, is a game of numbers, not so. But in those numbers, there are the mathematics of it. So one of the cardinal problems that opposition has had is that they have divided. So it won't add up. And let me tell you why. The main opposition today, Labour, NNPP, PDP, were on one side in 2019. The totality of their votes was still 3-point-something million votes short of the vote by which we won. Now, if you were not enough when you were together, how can you be enough when you are broken up into 3?
Now, you just heard that, the last line of Babatunde Raji Fashola, say that when you were together, you were not enough, and now you've broken. So maybe the confidence, brewing in APC. However, early this morning, one of the PCC, the Presidential Campaign Council of the People's Democratic Party, Dele Momodu, who's also a respected journalist, spoke this morning saying that history can repeat itself with the PDP and with the man they have on ground, talking about Atiku.
He's one of the brilliant guys we have around in politics. Maybe if they had picked Fashola as presidential candidate, maybe a lot of people would not even complain about the Muslim ticket. But what he was saying last night, trust me, is just to defend his boss. I didn't expect anything less. Anybody who knows the mathematics of elections in Nigeria will know that what he was saying was absolutely false. And I will tell you, in 2014, I wrote between President Jonathan and Muhammadu Buhari in search of mathematicians. You can Google it. That was the first time the Buharis had hope that they can win. I know the spread in Nigeria. Number one, historically, 1979, 1983, whenever you have two strong southern candidates, they cannot beat the mainstream northern candidate. It's impossible. What is happening today is like a repeat of history. Awolowo was there in the southwest, just like Tinubu is there in the south, and Tinubu does not even have a quarter of Awolowo's cult followership at that time. Then, in the southeast, we had the Wele of Onitsha, Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe. And then, in the north, we had Shehu Shagari, Alhaji Shehu Shagari from Sokoto. We had Malam Aminu Kano in Kano, just like you have Rabiu Kwankwaso today. The north, on February 25th, you watch. The same way Tinubu has now gone back into his base. The base is neglected for so long because he felt the people he needed, he took them for granted. The people he needed were the northerners. He has run back to his base to go and appeal to ethnic sentiment. And you expect that the northerners will also not follow the same ethnic, and then you must think some people are fools.
Okay, Dele Momodu speaking there. He was also a presidential aspirant, but under the flagship of People's Democratic Party, but later had to team up after the article was declared the winner of the primaries. But we've got Comrade Femi Olugbemi this morning, and we hope the network will be favorable. Good morning, Comrade.
Good morning, sir.
Well,
morning to you, Comrade.
Longest time.
It's good to have you here. So let us start with the mathematics of the election before we talk about the Machinga Lawan issue. You heard the mathematics coming from Fashola saying that the forthcoming election looks very, very possible for APC to return to power. But he also made it clear that President Muhammadu Buhari never campaigned on infrastructure. But money brought in, money repatriated to Nigeria were used in infrastructure development in Nigeria. Are we saying a waste of money or loss of plan? Or Nigerians don't listen to manifestos from candidates during campaign?
If you look at Fashola's statement, mathematically, if you look at both parties and the three presidential candidates, it is very difficult to analyze. Each party, they have their permutations, they have their own narratives that it is the north that will determine the candidate. And let us remember, like what Dele Momodu said, what happened during Awolowo's regime, whereby Hausa people, they decided to vote for Shagari. Yoruba people, they decided to vote for Awolowo, and Igbo, they decided to vote for Nnamdi Azikiwe. And trust Yoruba people, some of them voted for Shagari. Shagari, he has vote in the east and he has vote in the north. By the time they calculate the calculation and everything, Shagari won the election. I'm afraid such thing will not happen again if care is not taken with what is going on in the country right now, and with the powerful forces in Aso Rock that is they are standing against the chances of Tinubu right now. History may repeat itself.
Okay, now let's talk about the history made yesterday, or do we say the report of yesterday that declared the Senate President Ahmed Lawan, that is from the Supreme Court, being the senatorial candidate in Yobe State, despite Machinga winning the first primaries. But I mean, the court decision has been made. But do you think people will believe in our judiciary system?
There's problem with our judiciary system, and that judgment is a slap on the faces of Nigerians and our judiciary system. I will blame INEC for this problem, because how can INEC conduct two primary elections for two different senators it is totally wrong. One was conducted in May and one was conducted in June. And INEC did this. Did the conduction of both primary election, which is totally wrong. They caused the confusion here, and the Supreme Court also. It is so sad because it is the daylight robbery. I can like some people
Comrade, are we going to say that? I understand that INEC has a portion of blame to this incident, but we also know that the political party also has like supreme. Or is it safe to say that the political party has a supreme power in an endorsement of a candidate? Because that's what we see playing here. It's not between two different political parties, it's within the same political party. The same party is also taking their party to court.
Yes, you said it all. Political parties, they have say in this matter. That's what actually happened in Jigawa. You know, the APC don't have governorship candidate in Jigawa and some states. It is as a result of we can shift the blame on the party. And that is why, if you look at the crowd that went for Tinubu rally in Jigawa, it's really it's a big problem right now because the party is trying to impose candidates on people, which is totally wrong.
Oh, so you believe if party is imposing candidates, it is wrong, but most times they say that party owns the candidate, party owns the ticket, party takes the decision.
Yes, you are right.
Okay. And well, let's just keep it down that way, and let us be hopeful because election is the next 17 days. We're yet to hear from Martina himself, but his camp has come out to say that the Supreme Court's judgment was a daylight robbery. Let's keep our fingers crossed. Thank you very much, Comrade Femi Olugbemi, for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having me.
Hope you have a new Naira note.
I've been struggling to get at least 5,000 in my area.
It will make the two of us. Yesterday, I went to use the POS.
Thank you so much.
I went to use the POS, and the guy said I should give him 2,000 Naira for 10,000 Naira. I'm like
2,000 for 10,000.
So I'm having 8,000 Naira.
Okay.
In total.
Did you watch Oga Sabino's skit?
I did not.
Where he said, okay, he went to withdraw 2,000 Naira. So, and when he was given back his ATM card, and the ATM guy said, Oga, you don't collect your change. Like, it's 2,000 Naira for 2,000 Naira.
Was his...
So he was given the receipt and the ATM card.
You know, this whole issue sounds laughable, but it is very painful and frustrating. Nigerians are going through a lot right now. As at Sunday, I couldn't eat. Not because I didn't have money to eat, but because I couldn't find where I could get access to cash to purchase whatever I needed. Food. It's ridiculous. And now we see that, you know, the federal government, or is it the CBN, they're stopping the presidency from extending the deadline from the 12th of February.
Yeah, but some parties went to court, you know, to stop CBN and Mr. President from extending the deadline.
Kaduna, Kogi, and Zamfara State.
And, you know, they're saying that, you know, look at the front page of the Punch newspaper, New Naira, governors' parties begin legal battle over CBN deadline. Now, court backs parties stop CBN Buhari from shifting deadline. And I was listening to one of the parties, AA, the Action Alliance, saying that the reason they went to court to quickly get the injunction was because they knew that some of the political party members, some candidates have already gotten money to buy votes for ahead of the
headline.
Polls.
APC campaign camp plan to swap 22.5 billion naira for vote buying. PDP is allerging. And APC came with a counter notion saying APC campaign council challenges PDP to provide evidence.
Now here, and a question was raised last night, and the question was, is all this new Naira notes policy political?
Well, a lot of people have termed it or labeled it political because the CBN governor himself came out to contest for presidency. So he has politicized.
But did he? I asked the question, did he come out to speak? It was more of
he doesn't have to, because you are a CBN governor and now you have affiliated yourself with politics by coming out to buy a form to contest.
Did he?
That's just the issue here.
Did he?
Come out to say what?
Come out to say he wants to participate, he wants to buy ticket. Remember Adeshino, who is the AFDB president, that is the African Development Bank, was also touted to get a presidential, to also campaign for the presidential polls, to join a political party. It did not come out until after 2 months, and he said he wasn't interested. Do you understand? Maybe it might be people pushing the CBN governor. I'm just saying from this other angle. You understand, so that people can really understand. Yeah.
Well, let's let the people decide. The number to call to be a part of the conversation is 0909 888 9939 or 0912 222 2939. Good morning to you. Welcome to From the Dailies.
Hello, good morning. Kemi, thank you for joining us. Let's go, 60 seconds.
The statement made by Mr. President that he's ready to tackle whoever that has been killing Nigerians in Burkina Faso. My question is, how many bandits have they tracked down with the use of NIA so far in this nation? Is he not aware with the level of insecurity happening left and right across the nation? Is he not? Despite promising us that our lives and properties will be secure if we vote for them. We did, but they let us down in that area. On vote buying, APC should be ready for another defeat because they are tired of experiencing bad governance under the administration. The masses are more wiser now than before. We are tired. It is glaring that they have nothing to offer us. What do they have to offer us? Is it the first scarcity or the harsh economy? We are now buying our own currency with our own money. Should it be like that when we have government? They are just there for nothing. I will implore Nigerians to vote rightly in this first general election by putting an end to APC's maladministration. Good morning, Kemi.
Thank you very much, Kemi. Thank you very much. Remember, you can also join us live on Facebook, facebook.com/Solutions939FM. Same as YouTube, Solutions939FM.
Good morning to you. Welcome to From the Dailies.
Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Ayo Dele. I'm calling from Malakia.
Ayo, thank you for joining us. Let's go.
Yeah, we used to hear that judiciary should be the last hope of the common man. I'm talking in relation to the Supreme Court judgment yesterday about the Senate president. So can we say that in Nigeria, judgment is now being brought and delivered to the highest bidder? Because how did someone that didn't participate in the primary conducted and monitored by INEC become the right candidate?
The both elections were monitored by INEC, though.
How can you win an election without being on the ballot? So it's becoming to an era where the confidence of politicians in Nigeria is no more on the electorate, but on the injustice of our judiciary. So you are trusting the Nigerian judicial system under the APC at your own peril. So Machina should just take out and try again. You just have to swallow the bitter pill of a democracy. Good morning.
All right, good morning. I mean, telling Machina to just swallow the bitter pill.
That's a hard one.
To accept defeat. And, I was also shocked. I mean, getting the statement of Lawan yesterday. And remember, wasn't it last year when these people were buying tickets? I mean, buying forms for people to get the money to buy that of presidential and get that of Senate. Where did they get the money from? How did they get the money? Okay, some of them said
table we want to even.
No, some of them said that someone said he got money from his constituents. The
same Nigerians that are suffering raised money for you.
The Nigerians that cannot withdraw from the accounts now.
Good morning to you. Welcome to From the Dailies.
Hello, good morning.
Morning, Balkis.
From Ibadan.
Great to have you.
Even though it's becoming tiring, but we cannot go else talk about the new Naira note. MSLA and President Modi should stop proving politics with this new Naira note. When they knew there were no substantial measures on the ground, why did they venture into it? Then I thought when MSLA was invited to the House, these are representatives were going to ask salient questions. But I think they went into their covering. Maybe they were scared of MSLA. Like it appears there are some MSLA have some strong backup from the presidency. I don't understand. In all of this, the CBN has not sanctioned any commercial bank because I'm very sure that the CBN releases money to each of these banks every day. So what is stopping them if these banks are ordering them? What is the state of Nigerians? Does President Buhari read newspapers at all? In all of this, if you ask him about the happening, he will tell you he's totally unaware. We are quickly in 2015. Good morning.
Morning to you. There's a riot on the Punch. EFCC nabs Abuja Bank manager holding 29 million naira.
Okay, so we
new naira
I got that rider together because I was about saying that the videos have been trending for the past 3 days now on social media. CBN now going to banks, but the question is, I spoke to some bankers. You know, most of them said they don't have enough new naira notes, or even to talk of cash. I heard yesterday they were giving people 1,000 naira over the counter. The question is, okay, if you don't have, let us know you don't have. Not that until when CBN gets into your vault and they notice that you have money. If you cannot give out cash from the ATM, let people come in, start giving them money from the counter.
The question is, why are you even hoarding this money if you don't have a game plan somewhere?
That's a question. Maybe we should also give thumbs up to some banks that have decided to be giving 20,000 naira across the counter. I don't want to mention banks now. If you bank with them, they make sure that you get at least, maximum of 20,000 naira.
I want to bank with them. Please tell me the bank. But let's take a few more calls as we're pressed for time.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning to you.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
This is Uwesila from Eloyere.
Uwesila, thank you for joining us this morning.
Concerning the judgment of Masijo, we've seen so many kinds of judgment in this dispensation. We've seen the first becoming the first. And I don't know how somebody that did not contest for a position will end up being the candidate of that position. It's only in Nigeria that such things happen. And you see people pretending as if they are going to courts to sanction, to query some things concerning the federal government. These are just, how do I call it? They are just acting. They are not just acting. They are just trying to maybe cool down the tension in us. How can you tell us somebody has some millions in a bank? Which bank? Bring the person, let's see. We cannot just look for ways to cool tension. At the end of the day, we don't hear anything again. And that's what is happening in Nigeria. They are just trying to cool tension. Some people are given some peculiar roles to play, and they are playing it. I used to say it. Nigeria is more or less like a script written by some people. They just need the actors to act it. When you hear about people telling us one person that it is this dispensation that we learned that snake is swallowing money. Monkeys taking money. They saw money in the airport, they don't know who brought it. There's one money in every tour. Different kinds of story. What's the outcome to date? So my own concern this one is just that I will advise an average Nigeria not minding what is happening for now. Let's cool our temperament. Let's adjust our shock absorber and wait. Persevere till 25th of February for the election and make sure our vote counts.
Thank you.
So I'm not saying the INEC issue, but at least let's go out and vote. Let's vote our conscience, not anybody to come and deceive us.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Uwesila. Let's check some messages on our Facebook fan page.
Ayodele Damilola is saying, what an interesting time to see such desperate legal moves against Naira redesign by the APC. Why is it that it's only the APC governors among the political parties that are complaining? It means the Naira redesign policy has really destabilized their plans on vote buying. No doubt, restructuring under APC government will be a mirage. Oluwaseun Root is saying, for the past 8 years of APC's administration, they have succeeded in creating more problems instead of solving the existing ones. Nigerians keeps experiencing fuel scarcity, scarcity of new Naira notes, poor power supply, and so many more. More reason the youths are protesting against all the hardships that the APC has inflicted on us. I will urge the youths not to be violent in their protests, but rather channel all these energies into voting out bad leadership in few weeks' time. God bless Nigeria. Abiola Motosho is saying, why are APC governors against the Naira redesign? This shows they have a bad motive for the policy, which we all know the policy is good. It will open the citizens' eyes to know who to vote, and those using money for their manifestos, those governors under the APC. Okay, I'll have to stop that there. Omadi Adekunle is saying it is so unfortunate that the APC came on board to worsen the situation of Nigeria, because many Nigerians did not expect the situation of Nigeria becoming this bad. Nothing is working well, ranging from fuel scarcity, naira crisis, insurgency, brain drains, erratic power supply, and many more hurdles. Olayinka Aditola is saying the CBN cashless policy is good, but they failed to put measures in place. Suleiman Sharif is saying good morning to you all in the studio. As we all know, the judiciary is the hope for the common man, but the reverse is the case. Aderon Care, finally, why is it that it's only the APC governors that are complaining about the new Naira note redesign?
Okay, but Victory is not a new. Is not an APC member.
Neither do I have the money.
Okay. All right. So we have to wrap up the show this morning, and we'll be back tomorrow morning on the same time, 9 o'clock. And well, coming up next is Mokajwe. Well, Olaguji is here. Good morning to you, Olaguji. How are you this morning? I hope you can hear me. Okay, well, he's not hearing me this morning.
Well, we must say thank you for being a part of the conversation this morning. We appreciate all your calls and contributions.
Yes!
Until tomorrow, my name is Victory Richard.
And my name is Oladapo Kunubi. Let us believe in a nation, Nigeria. This is Timi Dakolo. Great nation.
What is ours? Here we are as a people with one heart for one cause. We're determined to rebuild and restore. We're freedom. There's hope for us all. Our land, where there's hope for us all. We'll defend our land. We believe in this nation, and we know we'll get there. We'll defend our land. We believe in Nigeria and the promise she holds, and that one day we'll shine like the sun. We're a great